Hello and welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today I want to talk about console gaming versus PC gaming and kind of give you my perspective on a lot of the dudes over there on Twitter and on YouTube and everywhere else freaking out every time we get a 30 frames per second game on the Xbox or when they start coming to PlayStation. Um, Honestly, to tell you the truth, man, it kind of seems crazy for people to complain about 60 frames per second on a $500 console. And I'm going to get into this and I'm going to tell you why. Because I bought my PC. I've had this PC for about a year now. Well, a little over a year now. And I started noticing things after I bought the PC, my friends. First of all, welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and we're gonna get into this. We're gonna get into this, and I'm gonna try to break some of this stuff down, at least from my experience. You know, you know me, man. I'm not out there listening to everybody and taking in all their stuff. And I listen to some of the guys in the community. When they talk about the PC experience, but I'm a hard headed dude. I have to see things for myself because I like most of you guys, I've been led astray by Digital Foundry for a very long time. So now I force myself to see with my own eyes and experience stuff all on my own because I'm sick and tired of being lied to. I'm sick and tired of being shielded to. I don't want I don't want that, and I don't want to do that to you guys. Like I don't want to do that to my community. I don't want to fire you up and get you all. I don't want to get you all mad over something that might be a problem to me, might not be a problem to me. I'm trying to, as I continue this channel, to be more respectful to the developers that are building these for us, to be more respectful and appreciative for the things that they do put out and for the money that they save us with these $500 consoles versus having to buy a PC. There's a lot of good about these consoles. There really is. But there are some things that going forward are going to make you upset because a lot of the results are not going to match the marketing that we got when we first got these consoles. It's just not going to, guys. And that sucks. So let me start out with about a year ago, a little over a year ago, I started getting into PC gaming a little bit more. I started taking it more seriously because of the channel. I was like, yeah, I need to see these things. I've got people confronting me because I sounded just as crazy as the rest of these guys do right now. And if you go back and watch my old stuff, I sounded like a console fanboy extremely hard. Be like, yeah, no, we're gonna get 4K 60, freaking out on PlayStation all the time over 30 frames per second. I was mad. I was going crazy. I was mad. I was mad with fanboyism. I was armed with what do you say? I was armed with marketing speak, and I was running full steam ahead to YouTube, and I was confusing a lot of people as well as keeping myself confused and misinformed. I don't want you to be misinformed. Period. That's why I talk about the benefits of a 1440p monitor. That's why I talk about the benefits of VRR support, low frame rate compensation, better Dolby Vision from the Xbox consoles. That's why I talk about these things, so that you're informed, so that you can make better decisions to buy what you want to buy and not have to go through all of the struggles that everybody's going through right now. Now, do I think that the Series S, PS5, and Series X are bad, weak consoles? No, I don't. These are probably by far the most capable consoles that we've ever received. But they do come at a cost. They do lack a significant amount of power now, as in terms of where the PC space has moved. Now, during the beginning of this generation, it was easier for developers to hit that 60 frames per second target with some of the older games that were built for last gen consoles. Like it just was. I mean, these are definitely much stronger CPUs than we've ever had in any console generation before, except for maybe PlayStation 5 with the cell chip. That was a pretty tough, a pretty good CPU. It had a pretty good CPU. It was just extremely hard to develop for that. But if you move forward and you look at this and you start to see the amount of fidelity and like trying to push, and none of this made sense to me until I got a PC. And when I put the games on my PC and I crank up all the settings to max and I'm running these games, on my 4K TV or on my 1440p monitor, and I'm looking at just how these games react to a stronger CPU. I got a 5800X, which is definitely stronger than the 30. Well, I would say these are anywhere, like I would say they're close to a 3700X for the CPUs for these guys, for these consoles. And I start to notice things. I start to notice things while I'm playing these PC games. Like I'm noticing, that things just feel significantly better. They look significantly better because there's higher settings than what we're getting on console. There always have been, there always will be higher settings. And just taking a look at something like Cyberpunk running with max overdrive, ray tracing, and all of that stuff, like it really starts to click in your head, and you're like, wow, we leave a lot on the table with these $500 consoles. And so that made me rethink everything. Like that made me question everything. There was a time when I was like, man, I was starting to get disgusted with how I was feeling about the consoles. And I was like, dang, dude, like this can't be right. This can't be right. Like it can't be it can't be this big of a freaking gap. Like when I would put on a game like Castlevania, Lords of Shadows, the first game, and I'm looking at that on PC and I'm like, this game is simply beautiful. Simply beautiful. There's so much detail in this game on PC at max settings that it kind of makes you like whoa, what the freaking heck, man? Like it blew my mind. My mind has been blown so many times on the PC. Like take Wild Hearts for instance. I downloaded the demo on the Xbox and I shut it off immediately. I was like, that looks like a blurry mess of soup. Put it on the PC and I'm like, this looks incredible. There's way more visual detail in these games. And I'm telling you guys, these newer games, from Hogwarts Legacy to Returnal to freaking The Last of Us, all of these newer games that are coming to the consoles and the PC are very heavy on my PC. And I mean, I've got a PC that's almost 3 times stronger than the Xbox Series X. It's exactly 3 times stronger than the PS5 and almost 3 times stronger than the Xbox Series X. So when I'm looking at that and I'm seeing my PC struggle to run these games above 60 frames a second at 1440p, that puts a lot of stuff into perspective for me. Now, the benefit of having a console is the console version of these games are always going to be highly optimized to get the most bang for their buck out of these consoles. Well, at least the PlayStation 5 version will. Depends on the developer if they're gonna try to squeeze every little thing out of the Xbox. Now, we all have heard the Xbox marketing speak about VRS and what is it? Mesh shaders and DirectML and like all of the other market speak that goes into selling you a $500 console with boost performance or whatever. All of these technologies are already on the PC. Like I already have DLSS. DLSS is amazing. It does really help. It makes things look incredible. I can use FSR 2.2, 2.0. And like try to drive the visuals of my games that way. And I'm telling you guys, after playing Jedi Survivor on the Xbox Series X, the Xbox Series S, and the PC, there is a significant difference in how those technologies work on the console versus how they work on a PC with a graphics card that has a higher total power, TG, what is it? Total power or something. Yeah, I don't know the whole name for it, but it's like there's more power going to my GPU than there is going to any of the 3 of my consoles that I have. Just that alone is giving me a much better, like I can push it harder. I can push the graphics further. And you don't really understand until you have a PC and you've seen how some of these games can run. Now, another example that I want to give you is Fallout 76. Now on the Xbox, now it runs at what, 1080p 60 frames a second. It used to be like 4K, and we're talking about super low textures and other things. When I put that on the PC, it looks literally incredible. Like I'm like, wow, is this even the same game? Like everything looks significantly better. And I'm just like, whoa, man. And I look at that and then I think about like, wow, dude, like if Starfield had just the visuals of what Fallout 76 looks like now at 4K, like I would be satisfied with that. Because let's face it, man, for the most part, like Bethesda's 30 frames per second, at least out in the open world, doesn't feel too bad. And there's new tricks that they're learning with the motion blur that's actually making it so the action seems a lot smoother and it doesn't seem as choppy, which is good. Like we need things like that. We need other technologies and other magic tricks to make the console versions a lot better. But I do foresee a lot of 30 frames per second coming in the near future for these next gen games. I think all the Ubisoft games that have been added to the Xbox store, not one of them say 60 frames per second. They're all targeting 30 frames per second. And man, I just feel like but like if you look at Avatar Frontiers and like the new Star Wars game, like both of those games look next gen. I mean, the new Star Wars game from Ubisoft looks more next gen than Jedi Survivors did. And the new Avatar game looks better than anything that's been on the PlayStation or the Xbox to date. Like they look incredible. So I want you guys to step back and understand that like I'm a gamer just like you are. I have the same frustrations, I have the same anger, I have the same hopes and dreams and wishes and wants and all of that, but I'm also a realist. I'm also a realist. I get you might be able to get away with saying I'm kind of pessimistic sometimes, and that's true. But I do try to be as fair as possible when it comes to gaming nowadays. Like I don't want to be one of the negative people that are out there creating negativity. I don't want to be out there trying to lead people astray. I don't want people to feel misinformed when they come and watch my content. So I've worked really hard over the last year to really make better content. Like I'm still not going to go out there and listen to anybody else on the internet or anything like that. Like I'm giving you my experience, how I see things, how I'm figuring things out. Like I'm not going out there and just getting information from somebody else and then running back over here and regurgitating that to you so that you can, so like, no, I'm not doing that. I don't watch anybody else's content that often anymore. Like I don't. And if it's like, I might watch some of the funny people and some of the other stuff, or if somebody else has got a product before I can get it, maybe I'll watch some of their stuff. But for the most part, like I don't watch any of the negative stuff out there anymore. I try to avoid that stuff. I try to make sure that I'm playing the games and giving you my own feedback and my own thoughts so that I can keep things as consistent as possible on this channel going forward. Like I don't want to be another console war fella. I mean, we can bash the ponies on the channel just because them guys kind of deserve it most of the time. They're really rude. So I do push back against them guys. Xbox guys can get pretty bad too, but it's to the point where it's like, man, dude, it's like you guys live on this constant back and forth. And when I see a game like Starfield, as vast and as incredible as that game is, it makes me stop and think that, I mean, like we've got half the side over there complaining about it being 30 frames per second because it's on the Xbox, most powerful console ever. And then you've got literally people that are higher up than me in the Xbox community that have major followings out there, not only like getting people's hopes up all the time over 60 frames a second and being like, yeah, we got to demand better. And it's like, what are you demanding better for? Like, seriously, what are you demanding better for? These games are going to come out whatever the way the developer wants to build them. They might listen to our suggestions, but when it comes down to it, they're going to do exactly what they know how to do. They're going to build the thing that they want to build. They're going to build their version of these games. And you know what? A lot of the time, most of us end up loving those and have very small nitpicks. And the nitpicks that we do have, we're usually pretty okay. I mean, like we're pretty good at overlooking those and enjoying what we do love about those video games. So there's like this major push on YouTube to monetize like the negativity. And like more proof of that is now on YouTube. If you want to create a YouTube channel and you have 500 followers and like 3,000 watch hours, like you can monetize your live streams now. You don't even have to have 1,000 subscribers no more. Like it's 500. Now all I got to do is get to 500 and do live streaming, and you'll be able to monetize that and get super chat money and all of that. So I mean, but you still don't get no ad revenue. But you can monetize your following. So I mean, it's like there's more of a push for content creators to monetize to monetize their friends, like the people that watch their content. And man, as tempting as it is to just sit here and try to get rich off YouTube, man, I love being a man. I love getting up and going to work every day. I love the oil underneath my fingertips. Like I love that kind of work, man. I could not survive if I didn't have a real job that I got to get up and go and do every day. Like I love that, man. I love that about who I am. I love that I have the energy to go to work and then to come home and express my love for the thing I love the most in video games. And this is incredible, man. Like this is incredible. This is like a dream come true. I've got an amazing wife that supports me, and you know, I've got wonderful freaking kids that are awesome that want to be YouTube content creators. And you know, that's the whole thing. This like this kind of started out of that. I was like, it kind of started out as a joke, you know, like the baby cakes, you know, I told her, she's like, I want to be a YouTuber, and her and her little buddy Bobby. And I was like, dang it, I'm going to start a YouTube channel. And they're like, no, you're not. No, you're not. and here we are, man. Over 5,000 people that come and watch Frogboy X1 Gaming's content. And I appreciate every single one of you guys. And I'm grateful for everybody that supports this channel. It's awesome, man. It's a dream come true to be able to sit here and hang out with you guys. So when it comes to like trying to monetize you, man, I'll leave that to the e-beggars. If you guys want to drop money and like super chats and support the channel, awesome, man. Every single bit of those proceeds go to my wife, because she puts up with me and lets me do what I want to do and hang out with you guys and build content and play video games. So it's awesome, man. It's like a win-win for all of us. The happier she is, the happier I am. And then I can create content and stuff. But it's awesome, man. It's awesome. It's pretty fun. So I just want you guys to know that, like, as this channel goes and gains more knowledge, and the more things that I experience, I'm not one of them kind of people that's just gonna stay stuck in like a little bubble and be like, yeah, I was 60 frames per second on my $500 console. I'm not gonna do that, man. I'm gonna help move forward with this. Like, if games are going to start hitting a limitation of 30 frames per second and give you a better overall visual image quality on your 4K TV, you got to ask yourself, what would you rather have? A beautiful 4K image or a blurry 1080p 60 frames? I'll tell you right now, unless you're willing to go buy a 1080p or a 1440p monitor, you probably should just learn to accept 4K 30. You should. Hopefully like at least with Xbox, you'll be able to put it in 120 FPS mode. You'll be able to flip on, you know, your VRR, and that should give you low frame rate compensation. And that's going to be really, really helpful if you're playing on an OLED TV. If you've got a regular old, if you've got like a regular old like LCD or LED TV, you're going to be fine. Like, you can still use that to get low frame rate compensation on the Xbox platform. So I would utilize that. If you get a 30 FPS game, utilize that. Utilize the 120 FPS mode and utilize your VRR support to give you low frame rate compensation. It really does make just a big enough difference to where the game won't feel as sluggish, and the screen won't be as stuttery, and it helps a lot. It does. It has a significant impact when you're playing on an OLED TV. So, man, I know this video went kind of long, and I hope if you're still here, man, thank you so much for watching this content. And hit that like and subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching.